And it is the victory of the Gambian uncle who finally saw himself and his struggle in a campaign for the city that he calls home.
So I mean, with him, I think specifically you mentioned the Gambian community came as a result of him visiting one of a mosque on Webster Avenue, Masjid al-Rahma. Masjid al-Rahma, with my work there at the Gambian Youth Organization, was a mosque where in 2022, unfortunately, I know you probably heard of this already, that 17 members of our community passed away due to a fire in Twin Parks Northwest. And that was the masjid that, the majority of the victims went to. So Zohran, went to that mosque. And I believe at that masjid, he met, a few Gambian uncles, and they were speaking to him about their problems. And then, he also started speaking to them. So from there, they realized that, his campaign speaks to their needs. Some of them been here for 20, 30 years, and they felt unseen. They feel like, no one's here really listening to them. But once they heard, Zohran speak, they felt like his campaign really spoke out to them. So I think that's the reason why, you mentioned like the Gambian community. Campaign again is not just centered around, one community. It's a diverse coalition. And also, the first conversation that I actually had, the reason why I actually got involved was to help bring forth with Adifanta and our friends, is to help bring forth the West African community and the African community in general. And the first conversation that we had with the campaign, the Muslim, campaign manager, Hassan, was like, he said that we know that your community, you guys have been, you guys have been kind of neglected a bit. And Zohran's campaign, we're trying to change that. We're going to try to, so that's the reason why, we even organized a Bronx Imams meeting, and we took, Zohran went to like different, African mosques so that he can get to know the community a bit more. So that's different in a way that because it's reaching out to people who are normally not seen. See, Gambia is a very small country, even on the map, some people say they don't even see Gambia in Africa, but we exist. But like his campaign speaks to people who are not not seen that much. So then those are the people that actually came out and and voted for him. And some of the folks that are not seen, are the folks that are like from 18 to 24. They feel like their voices are not being heard. And his campaign spoke out to them, and then they came out and voted. Like the Muslim community as well, they came out. They feel like they're not being heard by other politicians, and they came out and voted. And other communities too came out the same way to come and support this coalition. But definitely, like with the Gambian community, it was an honor to actually even have him acknowledge and mention us in his speech.
Stunned the nation. Everyone is talking about it. But what is more emphatic for us and special for us is the mention of Gambia out of many countries in New York or in America who participated in him getting the Democratic nomination from nowhere. What is your take on this?
Thank you very much. I think a lot has happened, but one thing for certain, despite what has happened since Trump took over office, we can still say that the American dream is still alive and well, notwithstanding there are a lot of hurdles that are against recent immigrants and people living in America without documentation. What we have seen in Mamdani's primary victory is that mainstream America, in terms of the classical political structure that we've seen there, it's now taking a U-turn. Why is that happening? The Gen Z in America really don't believe in Beltway politics. Beltway politics meaning politics as it has been structured in Washington, where you have Democrats and you have Republicans, and you have certain ideologies being ascribed to each of these parties. If you look at Israel, for example, it has been a primary staple in American politics. But the younger generation are not too attached or have an affinity to Israel, even within non-Jews, sorry. And also the word anti-Semite has made a lot of people scared to really speak up and speak out against a lot of things that are happening globally. This has affected America's foreign policy. This has affected America's image. And if you were a keen listener of the debate, a question was asked to basically all the contestants or people running for office. What will be the first country you will visit? A lot of them didn't believe what they said, but they said Israel because that's what they thought mainstream New Yorkers wanted to hear. But it looks like that's not what mainstream New Yorkers want to hear anymore. Times have shifted, policy positions have shifted, and the mindset of Generation Z in America is not the same mindset as even Generation X or Y. Generally, Gambians don't participate in mainstream politics, but Mamdani's approach to this was grassroots politics. And in the grassroots, you have Gambians in various communities in New York, be it Bronx, being in Harlem, being outside of New York City itself. So yes, the manner in which his political campaign has been structured, he had to collide with community activists and community actors. And that's what brought him to the Gambia in terms of interfacing directly with the Gambian diaspora in New York. And it was something that's great. It was refreshing, and it was something that everyone wanted to hear. And it was a good surprise. At least it has put Gambia in a great light. And it shows that Gambians in and outside of Gambia, wherever they find themselves, tend to play politics or tend to be active in the communities that they're in. And like I said earlier, because Mamdani's approach to politics has been bottom up rather than top down. And that's why fate brought him within the Gambian community. And it looks like they have played a significant role, hence the reason he acknowledged them during his victory speech. Well, I think a lot has shifted in America. America used to have values that the global South used to look up to and emulate. But unfortunately, what we've seen in America recently, I will not say it's un-American, but that's not the America people know. It was a land of liberty, land of opportunities, and a sanctuary for a lot of people. Well, this administration, Trump's administration, sees it differently. And the MAGA slogan of America First, I don't know whether it's misconstrued, but definitely it's not putting America first. But back to the home front, Gambia, I think this is something that we need to look up to in the sense that people in the diaspora are not just there working and sending money. They're transitioning into mainstreaming themselves into wherever society they found themselves. And the people in New York have shown that, yes, we're in New York, but we don't want to be onlookers. We want to be part of the people making the decisions that will affect our lives. And yes, they have done a significant work that has impacted the victory of Mamdani. And in return, he has shown gratitude to the Gambian community in New York.